Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to attempt to re-tackle the Build the Delorean project that I've been posting on this channel. Haven't posted one of these in quite a while for a number of reasons. Number one, I've been busy building a tiny house, so that's been taking up a lot of my time. And number two, I got a notification from Eagle Moss that their issue number 16 was wrong. They put an automatic transmission into the Delorean, and anybody who's seen the movie knows that it's a manual transmission. So they sent me this notification quite a while ago saying that they were going to resend me issue number 16 with the manual transmission. Supposedly this affected very few subscribers, and of course I was one of the ones that it affected. So I got this in the mail and nothing else. No instructions, no nothing. This issue that you see here is the issue for the automatic transmission that we've already built in a previous episode. This is what I have of the engine so far. This is issues number 16 and 17. I'm guessing that I'm going to have to completely disassemble this thing and reassemble it onto this new transmission if I can actually figure out how to put it together. So, that being said, this should be quite an adventure. I have my issue number 16 here because it's my only hope of figuring out which screws go where on this transmission. So this should be all sorts of fun. I'm hoping that not a whole lot of other people out there have had this problem. For preparation, I've got screwdriver number 1 here, and the one we got from issue number 10 as well. And I forgot that I need my tweezers, because you don't make it very far without the tweezers, for those that have been watching these videos. So, just going to kind of struggle through this and see what we can come up with. So I'm guessing that these two pieces are going to fit together like so and form the transmission. And I'm guessing this little piece right here is probably supposed to be this piece right here. Now, I have no way of knowing which direction it goes on here, so let's just see if we can figure it out. We've got the two holes here, and it looks like those are going to line up just like that. So that's how I'm going to attempt to put this thing together. So, assuming that this piece matches up with this piece here, which is what we're going to go with, then we're going to need 2 AM screws. Of course, if I'm wrong on any of this stuff, it means disassembling the entire thing and starting over. So, I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty frustrated with Eagle Moss right now that they couldn't get this right. Or at least send a new set of instructions so that I'm not stumbling around in the dark here trying to figure out how to put this thing together. Not only that, but I'm going to have to put the other pieces that I've already assembled onto the other transmission onto this thing when it's done. So, not a very happy camper right now. So anyway, we've got this right here, and we're going to attempt to attach those AM screws to it. Now this has some kind of flat piece right here that this doesn't have, so I'm not sure what's going to happen there. Now we're going to try screwdriver number 1 first and see where we can get with that. Looks like this should do the trick. So here we go. Okay, it looks like it's taking the screw okay. I'm just going to go ahead and tighten these because, you know, there's really no way of knowing whether it's put together correctly until you're pretty much done. So if I get anything wrong here, I'm pretty much doomed regardless. Okay, so we got one in. It looks like, if we played our cards right, that it should fit together just like that. So I'll go ahead and put in the second one. Okay, and I took that one. So, assuming we got this correct, we're done with step one over here. This, can't really do anything about that. I'm basically looking at this plastic piece here in the front that this transmission doesn't have. As you can see, this one's quite a bit smaller than this one is. So, you know, there's no way of knowing how this is going to affect our build. But I am very concerned. But all we can do is keep on trucking. So we're going to set that over again over there. Ignore that step because there's nothing we can do. And then we have these here, which we do have. And here's our rings. So we'll put these together exactly like they are on the instructions. So it looks like the lip goes on the outside. And based on the photo, looks like it's going to go like that. So we got one. And then we got two. Both the same thing. Now it wants us to screw those into the sides here using an EP screw, which we do have. So it looks like probably that hole right there. It looks like it's going to go in this direction. It only goes in one way because there's a little flat lip right there. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not. And there's a flat lip there as well. So it looks like it's going to go in just like that. And then the EP screw will come in from the other side. So here's my EP screws. Incidentally, those AM screws from the last step, I was able to screw them in a little bit easier using the screwdriver from issue number 10. These are pretty freaking small, so we're going to try screwdriver number 1 again and see where we can get with that. Okay, got that in there nice and snug, and that's not going anywhere, so hopefully that is correct. Another thing that bugs me about this build, since all these issues are step by step, you may not know that you've made a mistake until 10 issues later, where, of course, you would have to take apart the entire thing and fix the mistake. And with no instructional manual for this particular issue, I'm even more concerned than usual. Okay, these are going in pretty easily with this number 1 screw. Or screwdriver, rather. Alright, and that one's nice and snug. So now we got them on both sides. I'll go ahead and turn the page here. So we just did that. So now we need to basically assemble the thing with 2 DM screws, which we have right here. So, if I put this together correctly, I mean, it's a nice little piece there, and the screws should go in basically here and here. So we'll go ahead and give that a shot. There's our screws. And I think I'm going to continue with the number 1 screwdriver to put the... Oh, no, that's a little loose. I'll go ahead and go with the number 10. Yeah, that feels better. I'll go ahead and get that screw in there. Okay, that one's nice and snug. And then we'll get the other one in there. Okay, so we're out of pieces. We've got a couple of spare screws, but that's pretty normal for these things. And using these instructions that I had, I was able to get this instead of this. So here's our finished piece. So there's not much else we can do with issue number 16 at this point. Fortunately, I only went to issue number 17 before I was notified that there was a mistake. So, here's issue number 17. We're going to see if we can attach all these pieces that I put on this thing onto this thing. So, it looks like the transmissions up to this point are pretty much identical. So everything in this back end is going to need to come off. So I'm going to start with these 3 screws right here. Let's see if I can reasonably get this thing disassembled and then just attach it to the new one. Now I'm already concerned here because we've got 2 screws here and here, and this thing has them up and down. So something is going to have to give here. I'm just not sure what. But anyway, let's get started and see what happens here. I don't even know what kind of screws these are. Looks like it's this piece right here, so I'd assume these are DP screws. What a mess. As if this thing didn't have enough work to be done on it already. I'm basically undoing all the work that I've already done. Not to mention the fact that I had to wait about 6 weeks to get the correct part. I almost quit the build, but I've already gotten in the mail up through, I think, issue number 24 or something like that. And I've already put a whole gob of work into this thing. And I really want to see this thing through to completion because it's just going to be an amazing model when it's done. But man, what a pain. At least these screws are coming up pretty easily. Now I hope that once I get this off, we've got a second piece behind it that will fit correctly onto that new transmission that I just built. But again, there's really no way to know. So, looks like it's not quite ready to come off here because of this black thing that's sticking out right there. It looks like that's the issue. So I've got no choice but to go ahead and pull that one. So I don't even know what kind of screw that is right now. So we'll just set that over there with this piece. This is where it gets really dangerous about getting screws mixed up and all that nonsense. Okay, so we got this piece off. 3 screws are still intact, so we're just going to set that face down over there so the screws can't go anyplace. And now we got this section here where the holes actually do match up. So I'm feeling a little bit comfortable that we're at least on the right track here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this piece. So far, so good. Okay, that piece came off, and now these are looking pretty identical. So I'm guessing I can just get rid of this piece and put everything back onto this one, and hopefully we'll be alright. So, here we go. I'm going to need to get that last screw out of there. Okay, got it out. So, should go on just like that. You can see what a nice fit that is. So, feeling pretty good here. Thank God I didn't do, like, 30 issues in and then be told I had to replace this piece, because I'm guessing we're going to be doing a whole bunch of building around this transmission with the upcoming issues. Using the number 10 screw on these, by the way. And that would be this piece right here, so these are also DP screws. So everything going onto the transmission right now is with DP screws. And the second one. Now what's really going to chap my hide is if some of those issues I've already gotten aren't even compatible with this new transmission. But hopefully they're all just building around the back of the transmission here, which is from issue 17. And any issues that they have with that other automatic transmission have since been fixed. I was told in the email that none of the issues that I had received, other than issue number 16, were affected by this transmission. So hopefully that is correct, and we can continue on with this build without any unnecessary problems, because there's plenty of necessary problems with this thing. So, you know, why compound the problems with more problems? So the screws that I left into this other piece, I'm basically just kind of tightening back in right now. Spent a lot of time lately outside building my tiny house, where we've got lots of power tools, so the screws go in nice and quickly. Kind of wishing I had one of those right now. Okay, so that's all back together, and then we have this one over here with that mystery screw. That's already together from this. So this one should be an AP screw that we're missing here. And this piece went right there. So we've got this black piece back in there. There's a drive that screw right back through there. And theoretically, we should be done. Screws go in there nice and easy with this number 10 screwdriver. Okay, that's on there nice and sturdy. So it's basically exactly like it was before, except we've swapped out the automatic transmission for the manual. So that's basically issue 16 and 17, and this is what you should have when you're done. So I guess time will tell whether this becomes more of an issue or not, but that's where we're at right now. So stay tuned for future episodes as I try and catch up with this build. Thanks for watching, folks, and I will talk to you later.